NBA Straya. How are you going? Hey, you going? Are you good? You should be. What is that, Jim? Well, it's Thursday, February 5, all day. And our long national nightmare, the Cum Dog Millionaire Sweepstakes, are over. That's right, Kuminga got traded. I'm your host, James Clements, here in Larry Armour Studios. We've got the trade deadline latest. It has been a chaos bloody day. We've had a bunch of Australians moved. Anthony Davis got traded to Washington. Sure. The extreme zinger meal is off. He's gone.
The extreme zinger meal.
Jock Landale's on another team. It's Chris Paul. Remember him? He got traded too. So we're going to break it all down. We've got 7 games to get through as well from today. So we'll sort of do like a normal show because there's so much to cover before the trade deadline hits at 6 a.m. tomorrow morning our time. So tomorrow's show will wrap it all up. This will get you through what's already happened, which is a bloody lot. So we'll do quick. That's not a knife, old mate, no mate, Spud of the night, better than Lonzo Ball. Get some quick yeah-nahs, an unpopular opinion of the day, and an Outback Take, yes. We were serving up a Flame Grill Take. No Australian player watch because I think like Jingles didn't play and Tyrese Proctor out there for Cleveland was sort of causing all sorts of havoc by, you know, hitting some shots. So we'll get through that but very briefly and then we'll set you up for tomorrow. So lots going on. Let's get into it. Episode 1347 of NBA Straya. Let's go.
This is Josh Giddey.
G'day, this is Andrew Gaze.
This is Jack White.
This is Joe Ingles.
This is Darcy Daniels.
This is Chris Anstey.
This is Matthew Delvedova.
This is Shane Hill.
You're listening to NBA Straya.
And you're listening to NBA Straya.
And you're listening to NBA Straya.
You're listening to NBA Straya.
And you're listening to NBA Straya.
You're listening to NBA Straya.
And you're listening and watching NBA Straya.
This is NBA Australia. Let's do it.
Watch out for the Shaq attack.
You better. I'll tell you what. Better watch out for the Shaq attack if you're that security guard from the Miami Heat who Shaq gave a car to. Oh, isn't that nice? Teed up with like some other dude that I have no idea who he is, but Shaq was there. He's like, oh man, Shaq, man, come on, man. You can't do this, man. It's like, yes, he can. He's Shaq. He's got more money than God. Let him give you a car, sir. So you got to watch out for the attack of Shaq's kindness, I guess. Oh, that's a good Shaq attack. Hey, let's start today's show the way we start every show here at NBA Straya with some sort of, is it a daily whip around, Jim? Yes, it is. Before we do all the trade deadline chatter, quick little newsy other stuff. SGA is out. So on yesterday's show, we talked about how his 20-point per game streak is 5 games away from tying Wilt Chamberlain. That would have gotten him through to the All-Star break. Instead, he will now be out until after the All-Star break with an adductor. So that'll be interesting because it kind of also means you think about the All-Star rosters. Team World, no Giannis, now possibly no SGA. Interesting stuff.
Interesting stuff.
Right, because they've already classified Karl Anthony Towns as Team World. And I guess this means Alpi Şengün can jump in. Or perhaps our man Josh Giddey. I reckon Şengün gets in before him, but still. Anyway, it's a pretty crazy gear there. Otherwise, look, the SGA news is a bit of an interesting one. We also had Josh Hart miss today for the Knickerbockers. Half of the Utah team is out for tomorrow's game with all the trades going on as well. You're like, geez, like Jock Landale would have been in Utah, but now he's already been rerouted to Atlanta. Atlanta don't have the extreme zinger meal anymore.
The extreme zinger meal.
Like it's just all chaos. So it's a fun couple of days. And outside of that, like Boston started, they had like Derek White and that was like it of their team. They had like no one else. It was pretty crazy. San Antonio didn't have Dylan Harper. Like Memphis have got no dudes and still won. Like it's all going on. So fun stuff. But that's sort of secondary to the biggest news, obviously, which is the trade deadline. And it has been the busiest the last 24 hours of a trade deadline we've seen. It has been chaos. I think about 2/3 of the league's already made a trade, or at least been involved in a trade. Might be 3/4 now. So, yeah, it's a lot going on. let's start, I guess. We kick off the trade deadline with the biggest trade of the day. The big man has been moved. We all thought he might go somewhere else. It's all very exciting, but here we are. That's right. Jock Landale is going to the Atlanta Hawks from the Utah Jazz after not having a chance to unpack his bags there. He's on his way to Atlanta to pair with the Great Barrier Thief, the Rooster, and the Great Barrier Thief together. You love to know, of course. Anthony Davis is the big one, isn't it? That's right. They traded AD. The Dallas Mavericks traded Anthony Davis. Where it was Anthony Davis. Mr. Davis goes to Washington. Now, if you were like me, I don't know, usually easily amused, wow. Easily distracted, wow, a blue car. And, stuff like this. You'd wake up to this news and go, that's just weird. The thing is, you would be just like, absolutely bloody everybody else who saw this trade. Anthony Davis to Washington, WTF is what we're all thinking, right? So the Mavs trade not only our man Anthony Davis, but our man's Dante Sexum Up Exum, Kangaroo Coby, out for the season with knee surgery, chucked into this deal, along with Jaden Hardy and D'Lo, the most Washington Wizard to now be on the Washington Wizards who had never been on the Washington Wizards before. This is fantastic. They go to the Washington Wizards in exchange for Chris Middleton, AJ Johnson, Malachi Branham, Marvin Bagley, 2 first-rounders and 3 second-rounders. Wow, what a haul! Wait, just fucking settle down, mate. Those first-rounders are dog shit first-rounders. That is this year's first-round pick of the Oklahoma City Thunder. Currently, that's like 29 or 30 right now. So that's not fucking very good. And a 2030 Warriors pick. Oh, that's pretty good, Jim. Nah, protected 1 through 20. In exchange for Anthony Davis, the bloke, defense wins championships that your fucking dumbass former GM, Nico Dipshit Harrison, traded Luka Doncic for, and a single first rounder. Amazing work. Amazing work. So, essentially, the Mavs turned Luka into Max Christie, Chris Middleton, AJ Johnson, Malachi Branham, Marvin Bagley, a 2029 Lakers first rounder, a 2026 first rounder from the Thunder. That's that shit one this year. A 2030 Warriors protected first and 3 second rounders. Oh boy. In a world where Triple J is being traded for a giant bag of things, I'm just saying, don't you kind of think that dipshit Nico Harrison could have fucking opened up the doors a little bit and go, who wants a Luka? Do you want a Luka? I reckon I can probably get more than a fucking busted ass 31-year-old who's made of bird bones and clag, and his name is Anthony Davis and Max Christie. I reckon I might be able to get more than this. Let's find out. No, he didn't do any of that because he's a fucking moron. So, yes, great job, Mavs. This series, like Outback Takehouse, literally, the more we dig into this, the more it's clear that the NBA fucking rigged that lottery so that the Mavs got Cooper Flag. So the Mavs fans just didn't burn down the fucking joint. So, yeah. Anyway, how does this all roll, Jim? Well, Anthony Davis joins Trae Young in Washington. That's certainly a sentence. Will either of them play this year? Probably not. What are they doing there, Jim? Yeah, I don't know. You've put like some decent young players in a really strange position with Trae Young and fucking old ass Anthony Davis here, right? It's just a bit bloody weird. And you look at Alexander Sarr and AD's 32. He's about to turn 33 as well in a month or two. You got Trae Young and AD, and you got this weird young core there in Washington. Trey Johnson, Keyshawn George, Alexander Sarr, etc. And you're like, well, we better speed up this rebuild. Should ya? You got no picks in this year's draft. All right, but fine, whatever. So that's a bit of a weird one. The thing is, I guess, they have their own pick this year And they're not going to play probably Trey or AD for the rest of the season. AD might come back at some point just to see what they're doing and how he and Alexander Sarr can play together. But otherwise, they're still going to be shit. So they've still got like a, decent pick this year. But fuck me. Bit of an odd one. I'm not going to lie. It's fucking stupid. But colour me interested, Washington. It's just a bit of a fucking spanner. I don't mind it. What do we say here on NBA Straya? Throwing a fucking wrench in the spanner. The other big one, obviously, is sort of the extreme zinger meal and the Johnny Cumbucket Cumdog Millionaire swap.
Extreme zinger meal.
So, our long national Jonathan Kuminga nightmare is over, where we've apparently had to spend fucking 1,000,000 years talking about Jonathan Kuminga, despite him not really seemingly being that fucking good, according to Steve Kerr, noted basketball mind and smart guy. So instead, they send Cumdog Millionaire and Buddy Hield to Atlanta in exchange for a Supercharged Zinger Burger.
Supercharged zinger burger.
And that's it. You're like, okay. I don't know if this is the swing for the fences that they thought they were going to do with the Steph Curry. Let's see how he goes in his last few years. We'll get the Latvian gangbanger who just never plays. Okay. Sure. The Zinger trade, it's just much of a weirdness. Like, I don't know what the fuck Atlanta needs with Jonathan Kuminga. You've got Jalen Johnson, you've got Zachary Sachet, and a bunch of dudes now, and you're like, this is a fucking mess. But anyway, Atlanta also got Jock Landale. So I guess they sort of went, wait a minute, now we've got Jock Landale. We don't need the Zinger. Piss off, dickhead. I appreciate that for them. Lonzo Ball went to Utah in that deal as well. So the Cavs sent Lonzo Ball and 2 second-rounders to the Jazz, who got cash from the Hawks, and they get Jock Landale. It appears that Lonzo will be waived by the Utah Jazz, which, I mean, up there in Salt Lake City, I thought it was going to be...
It's bowling season!
For a little bit. But a bit, I mean, purple.
See me posted with the fam. See me posted with the brand. Y'all just do it for the gram. And we do it for the fans. BBB, oh, ay, BBB, oh, ay, BBB, oh, ay, BBB, oh, ay.
Purple. Love that. That was a long time to wait for the purple. But it kind of fits with the Yaz, I guess. Anyway, so he's not going to do that. Anyway, so Jock Landale lands in Atlanta. Don't mind this with Zinger gone. It's basically him and Yeka Okongwu, not a giant amount of other bigs there. So hopefully the cool thing is about Jock in Utah, he would have been stuck behind Yusuf Nurkic, Triple J, Larry Markkinen, and eventually Walker Kessler. So not a giant amount of playing time you'd sort of think in the future. Even this year as they try to figure out like their big rotation. So bit of a weird one. A lot more opportunity, I reckon, there in Atlanta, so I don't mind it. Coby White goes to Charlotte from Chicago in exchange for Colin the Sex Man Sexton. That's right. Coby White and Mike Conley off to the Charlotte Hornets for Colin Sexton, Ousmane Deng, and 3 second-rounders. So the Hornets get Deng and a second-rounder from OKC in exchange for Mason Plumlee. And you're like, okay. Deng then gets sent to Chicago. And you're like, all right, this is all just fucking getting a bit squirrely, but here we are. Coby White on Charlotte in place of Sexton. It's just, what I'm confused. I am not going to lie. I am like, it's like we have Colin Sexton. We've got Colin Sexton at home. Like, I think Coby White is a more talented scorer. I think Sexton probably gives a little bit more sort of veteran headiness to stuff. Coby White might give them more upside. I guess it's a win for Charlotte. Who the fuck knows what goddamn Chicago are doing? If that's the best you can do for Coby White, what the fuck? They also pulled off another trade later on. Yabusele goes to Chicago in exchange for Dalen Terry. And that's it. Because remember, Chicago have completely forgotten that you can get picks in trades. Sure. And Charlotte were also involved in another trade as well. Tyus Jones gets traded from Orlando to Charlotte so Orlando can duck back under the, I think the tax or at least the apron where they are because they're in a massive salary crunch. 2 seconds go back to Charlotte as well, or maybe to Orlando, yeah. And cash, that's right, for Tyus Jones. So I think I tweeted out the Tyus Jones experience is, wow, we definitely need a set-up point guard who can help us get organized and is just really smart and everything. Let's get Tyus Jones or a Tyus Jones type. Then they get Tyus Jones and they're like, oh, this isn't as good as I thought. And then Tyus Jones is Tyus gone. So, yeah, that's the Tyus Jones experience. Way to go, Orlando and Phoenix before you and basically everybody else. Other moves, Chris Paul, remember him? Still in the league, was still on the Clippers, remember, because they couldn't cut him because then his salary would count against their cap. They had to trade him. So they did, along with some cash. And the Clippers are pretty good with cash, aren't they, Kawhi? Aren't they? So, Ochai Agbaji in a 2032 second go to Brooklyn. Chris Paul goes to Toronto. So the Raptors duck under the tax. The Nets get an asset in Ochai Agbaji, I guess, and the cash to basically cover paying him for the rest of the season. And the Clips save $7 million in tax dollars. So it's like a win-win-win-win. All I do is win. I got traded. Chris Paul won't apparently report to Toronto much. I do like Chris Paul not having to show up in Toronto, following in the hallowed footsteps of like Alonzo Mourning, BJ Armstrong, Kenny Anderson. Just going, nope, I'm not going to Canada. I don't know what they do up there. They pay you in loonies. It's all very strange. And the other weird one was Jared McCain going from the Philadelphia 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6s, he of the dancing and the fingernails and stuff, is traded to OKC, the first asset that I think Sam Presti has given up a first rounder for in ages. So the Sixers trade Jared McCain to OKC. They get a 2026 first rounder from Houston, as well as 3 second-round picks. One of the second rounders is for 2027, which is the most favorable of OKC, Houston, Indy, and Miami. Not bad. The other two are for 2028 from OKC and Milwaukee. And people are going to be like, wow, 4 picks for Jared McCain, a first rounder as well. Wow. I don't know. I know a lot of Sixers fans, and Jared McCain, despite it being a bit disappointing this year, is still coming off like a fucking knee injury. And was a thumb injury and shit, and had just sort of only gotten back into playing. And you look at the rest of that Sixers roster, and yes, you get 4 picks, right? One kind of maybe shitty second rounder, 3 second rounders, awesome. You're also kind of a bit fucked if Maxey misses any time. But we've got VJ Edgecombe. Yeah, but you've also then got fuck all else. You've got the corpses of Kyle Lowry and Eric Gordon there. What are you doing, Sixers? It is a lot to get back from McCain, Samo. I get it, but I don't know. Sometimes you're just like, McCain's good. He's a fucking really good shooter. I don't know, man. I don't know. The Raptors also snagged Trace Jackson-Davis from the Raptors for a 22nd rounder from the Lakers. So, sure. But yeah, obviously the big ones today, Lonzo being bought out is pretty funny, a bit rough, but Jock and Dante being, like, we've just had so many different Australians being involved in these trades. We've also got Duop Reef, the Great Barrier Reef, there in Atlanta, where apparently it's the Ostlanta Hawks, Boomers, sure. But Reef is obviously injured for the season, but you got Jock there now with Dyson, which is kind of lovely. And I'll tell you what, Chicago for a minute have got like Lockie Ulbrich as like their only sort of center. It's like Zach Collins, Jalen Smith, Rutrow, and Lockie Ulbrich. And now it's Yabu. So, yeah, Lockie might be in line for a bit of playing time. And the last little bits of news, I guess, from today, like they'll be basically, while this is like going up, while I'm recording, there'll be shit going on. But the Bulls apparently are still in trade conversations with New Orleans and Houston, with Anthony Simons and Sexton still in line maybe to be moved on from the Bulls. Apparently Chicago still want to keep Dosunmu, which is smart because I think he's very good. Cam Thomas did not fly with the Nets down to play Orlando tomorrow for personal reasons. The personal reasons are, I'm about to be traded. So it's a bit of a rough one. I need to pack my apartment. Yep. Draymond as well was also, so before they moved on Zinger, the Extreme Zinger Meal, you might remember him.
Extreme Zinger Meal.
Draymond had been sort of involved in conversations with the Warriors. They're like, look, Draymond, you're old and you can't shoot, and we might trade you. Just FYI. You've been here 14 years. We love your guts, mate, but yeah, all good things have to come to an end. And he's like, I will kick you in the nuts, motherfucker. And you're like, Jesus, Draymond, settle down. Anyway, we'll see what happens. But now that they've already made the Zinger trade, I don't know if they're going to move on from Draymond. You've still got Butler there. Fucked if I know, right? It's a really strange situation there because this is essentially them going, all right, peace. We're not doing the Giannis thing because Milwaukee are asking too much for a 2-time MVP. Idiots. I do think, we'll get to this in Yanaz, but yeah, the Milwaukee thing is pretty smart on their behalf. So with Zinger being moved, Kuminga being moved, we've still got Ja Morant sitting out there to whoever wants to fucking get him. Miami, we're looking at you. Milwaukee would be pretty funny. Brooklyn would be even more hilarious. Who fucking knows? And the Clippers. I'm just saying, they got their ass kicked by Cleveland today.
Cleveland!
Would you see what you can get for Kawhi? Or are you too afraid that he'll just spill the beans about your under the table payments, allegedly? Yeah, it's probably that, isn't it? But yeah, there you go. Chris Paul gone. Anthony Davis is a wizard. You're a wizard, Anthony. Am I? Hooray. It's chaos. Absolute chaos. Does any of this really change who we expect to be in the NBA Finals? Yeah, nah. These are all little ancillary moves. Dallas getting out of AD and getting all that in return, which is obviously not much, and 2 shitty first rounders. Obviously, a lot of their thing is like, well, when we weren't going to pay Anthony Davis, we've gotten a close look at him now under the hood, and bloke is fucked. He's about to turn 33. He can barely walk. What are we doing? So they didn't want to be hamstrung by having a giant fucking $50 million fucking price tag on a dude who doesn't play basketball. And I guess it just gives them a little bit more flexibility to keep building out around Cooper Flag and whoever they get in this draft. Who knows what they're going to do with Kyrie? But I really would have liked to have seen more AD, Kyrie, Cooper Flag. And the weird thing for me is, like, I guess if you had have like just brought Anthony Davis back at the back end of this season just to sort of kick the tires on a little bit more, I reckon you would have gotten more in the off season. Right? It's a bit weird. Maybe you roll into next year, but here we are. Anyway, let's do some quick game wraps and give away some daily awards for today. Game wraps. We had an absolute cracking Denver Knicks double overtime game that was off its head. 127-134. The Knicks end up winning it. You had a 17-point first quarter for Jamal Murray. Yeah, ends up with 39. You had Jokic with a 30, 10, and 10 triple-double, but he also might win Spud of the Night. Cat fouled out. He had 24 and 12. Sham Wow, out of nowhere, was playing awesome defense and hitting shots and had like 16. Brunson, I think, outscored the Nugs in the second overtime, so that was pretty cool. And it all sort of came down to like the Mikal Bridges like foul called from the fucking other end of the court. What are we doing? That caused a lot of havoc. Christian Brown, he's back, which is good for the Nugs, and they're running out of dudes at this point. But he calmly hit 2 free throws. Off we go to extra time. The Knicks thought they had this one, and then it goes to fucking double overtime. Jamal Murray had a couple of chances to win it. Misses. He was still really good. Awesome game. Denver running on fumes. I think that's their 3rd straight loss. So, yeah, they need a fucking all-star break, I'll tell you. So I wouldn't be surprised if Jokic has like some sort of, hamstring tweak, calf tweak in the next week as well. So he gets a little bit extra time off. Minnesota, they came back and beat the Raptors out of absolutely nowhere. Down 18. Ant-Man was getting like heckled by the fucking Raptors crowd. He went, oh yeah, tell me, what was that? And then he fucking went ham. He went off, 13 in the fucking 4th quarter. That's the first time the Wolves, they came from the fucking clouds. It was crazy. It's the first time they've won in Toronto since 2004. That's insane. You think about, well, they don't only play there once a year, but they haven't won there in like 22 years. That's absurd. Good stuff. Awesome stuff by Ant-Man. Crazy game. Fun game. Boston kicked the shit out of Houston, which makes 0 sense because Houston were mostly at full fucking strength and Boston had no one apart from Derek White. And apparently that's all you need sometimes because Derek White dropped in 6 threes. He had 24 or whatever, 28 in the end. 114-93. 18-3 run in the 3rd quarter from Boston. And then they rip off another 10-1 fucking run. And you turn around and you're like, what the fuck is going on? Houston, how could you be down like 26 points or whatever the fuck? I think at one point they were down 25. And you just sort of look around and go, they started Derek White, Ron Harper Jr., that's not Derek Harper, that's Ron Harper Jr., his first ever start. Baylor Scheiman, Luka Garza, and Namus Keita. That is 2 normal starters, and they kicked the flying bejesus out of the Rockets. Ime Udoka got kicked in the third quarter. Alpi Şengün got booted in the fourth quarter. It was chaos. Boston went 19 of 51 from deep. Houston starters shot 21 of 49. I'm no math magician, but that's fucking shithouse. New Orleans fell short in overtime in Milwaukee. Apparently it's now a Algonquin for the good land again, despite Trey Murphy hitting 12 trays. Good job, Trey Murphy. 12 threes is no fucking round. He had 44. Zion was monstering and completely ignoring him late, which is pretty funny. And of course they lose because Milwaukee apparently had a Kyle Kuzma and a Ryan Rollins and a Kevin Porter Jr. And it was a wild game. Nobody wanted to win this down the stretch. It was fucking hilarious. It's like they're just trading turnovers at one point. Like, what the fuck? Great win, Milwaukee? I guess. The crazy thing to me is like the Pelicans are trying and they're just still shit. Same goes for the next team. Sacramento! They're trying. They're at full strength and they keep losing because they're shit. And they've got a former fucking player who was then an announcer and is now their head coach. Doug Christie, the worst coach in the NBA, non-Doc Rivers division. Memphis 129, Sacramento 125. This was funny as fuck. Because Sacramento are just inept. They're at home. They've lost 10 on the trot now. I picked them yesterday, right? Thinking, cool, they're mostly at full strength. They're actually out there starting Suvlaki King, DeAndre Hunter, Russell Westbrook, DeMar DeRozan, Zach LaVine. That's their full-time starting 5 from here on out, right? And they lost to a Memphis team that doesn't have anybody. Santi Aldama, Cedric Coward, Gigi Jackson, Jalen Wells, and Ty Jerome, who shredded them. Ty Jerome was fucking awesome. At 28-7. Sacramento, shoot him into the sun. OKC lose in San Antonio because they had nobody healthy. No J-Dub, no Chet, no SGA. San Antonio almost kind of cooked this a little bit. OKC came fucking out of nowhere late, but San Antonio went at 116-106. Castle, very good. No Dylan Harper, as I mentioned, but Keldon Johnson was going off his head. Had a bunch of blocks, kicked some ass. I mean, Wembanyama was off his head as well. 22-14. Not bad. Good size. Good win for the Spurs, but I'm going to forget that when we go back at the end of the season, they've won the season series 4-1. The Spurs. Sorry, no. Yes. 4-1. This one you just got to take with a grain of salt. Right? Just saying. And then the final one, ruh-roh, Cleveland kicked the shit. Cleveland! Out of Kawhi Leonard. And the Clippers. 124-91, and this was an absolute laugher from the absolute get-go. Donnie Mitchell has 29 in 30 minutes. That was pretty fun. Tyrese Proctor, Australian Player Watch, the only Aussie who played today, 7 minutes, 6 points, 3 of 7 shooting, 2 assists, and a steal. Not bad, +5. Because Jingle and Joe Ingles did not get out there against Toronto, which is a shame, because I just like it when Jingles plays. He might, actually, no, he got out there for a pass. Fuck, I remembered that. Why did I not write that down? Jim, what are you doing? Yeah, I don't know. Cook that. Because I remember watching it and going, hey, they've put Jingles out there. And then I didn't write it down. I completely talked over myself because I'm a big dummy. Yeah, he got out there for the exact 2 seconds of the inbound. And that was a +2. So good job, Jingles. Cleveland killing the Clippers was a bit of a weird one because Zoobs ended up sitting out of this one as well. But Cleveland didn't have Mobley. They didn't have, obviously, James Harden doesn't play for them until this weekend when I think they play Sacramento. So they're obviously not at full strength. They're starting Dean Wade, Jarrett Gotherthrow-Allen, Donnie Mitchell, Sam Merrill, and Jalen Tyson. So, yeah, it's still not a bad one. But the Clippers, like, they've got Chris Dunn and Kobe Sanders, and Derek Jones Jr. came back, and Bogdan came back, and they got fucking run out of their own building. Pretty funny stuff. Right. Who's the NBA Straya Prooper Player of the Night there, Jim?
That's not a night. That's a night.
I got 2 for you. Jalen Brunson and Ant-Man. 42, 9, and 8. So that's 9 assists as well. 8 rebounds. Went 5 of 12 from 3. 14 and 27 from the floor. He was awesome. Super clutch. Hitting massive shots. Just unreal gear. And to like out-duel Jamal Murray, who drops 39. Jokic, who has a 30, 10, and 10. But they combined, I think, to go 4 of 27 from 3, those two. Yeesh! You know, so great stuff by Jalen Brunson. But then obviously Ant-Man goes off his absolute scone later on in their game against the Raptors. Goes absolutely ham down the stretch, as I mentioned earlier, right? Like by just going out and going, what's that? You're talking shit? I don't know, man. Talk shit, get hit. Bang! 13, 5, and 3 steals with a block in the last little bit in the clutch to finish with 30 points, 8 rebounds, 5 assists, despite going 1 of 8 from downtown. That was awesome. Honorable mention, obviously, to Trey Murphy for his 44 and 12 made threes. We'll talk about him again later. Not bad, good size. Who is Spud of the night, Jim?
Spud, 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 it is Spud of the night.
Spud of the night. As I mentioned, 4 of 27 from 3 for Jokic and Jamal Murray combined. That felt 100% just like they had no legs. And you're like, this makes sense. They've barely played. So 30, 10, and 10 for Jokic, and he gets a Spud of the Night nomination. Bit weird, bit confusing. Not bloody bad. 1 of 8 from downtown for Ant-Man as well. The one that got me, and like I had it half written down, was Mikal Bridges. Hello, 2 of 8 from the floor, and that foul at the end nearly cost them the game, which is a bit crazy, bro. But they managed to survive it, which was okay. Outside of that, you had 3 of 12 for Reed Shepherd, which was pretty brutal off the bench for a Houston team that could not score all game. You had 4 of 11 for Kevin Durant, that same one as well. Amen Thompson went 3 of 8. Just, a couple of your big stars going a bit Spud-worthy, weren't they, Jim? Yes, they were today. It was a bit strange. Who's old mate, no mates today, though?
Old mate, no mates. Old mate, no mates.
Old mate, no mates.
Old mate, no mates.
Old mate, no mates.
Old mate, no mates.
Who's got no mates today? That would be Nico Harrison, because, wow, that dude's just probably sitting somewhere and the Maldives just going, fucking what? Why is my phone buzzing? Oh, it's 12 months ago since I did the dumbest fucking thing anyone's ever done. Amazing gear by him. But he's just now getting everything sort of the right act read to him. To the point where it's like, could he be fired again? Right? When you have this just the graphic being shown everywhere of Luka Doncic being turned into an absolute fucking pile of shit. But you always have to remember, Jim, defense wins championships. I get that. So does having one of the 3 best players in the NBA. Just saying. What a moron. I do very much enjoy that. And speaking of old mate, no mates, do you kind of think Anthony Davis is just going to be sitting there going, what the fuck happened here? I was feeling pretty good, feeling pretty great, and then it all just went a bit squirrely on me. Suddenly I'm in Washington, a.k.a. basketball purgatory. It's just, what am I going to do in Washington? This is chaos. So, bit of a rough vibe there for him. Lonzo as well, being shipped out of Cleveland. Felt a bit old mate, no mates, for the simple idea. It's it was ballin' season.
It's ballin' season.
And now it is not. So that kind of sucks for him, obviously. But I don't know. Nico Harrison and that entire Mavs organization is some old mate, no mates, because all anyone has done today after the Anthony Davis trade is roast them for being wildly fucking incompetent. I'll tell you what. What about pantsing of the night, Jim? Well, I mean, yes, Stephon Castle deleted an Isaiah Joe dunk that was fucking sick, but it's probably still Nico Harrison because you get to, when you get to relive your biggest failure, year on year on year, and especially once, the biggest fucking dumb part of your dumb giant fuck up is having a giant spotlight shone on it. Trading for Anthony Davis, you fucking moron. Luka Doncic for Anthony Davis, a bloke who doesn't play and is in his 30s. What are you doing? And again, see, it's just a continuous pantsing of this fucking idiot. So, and he deserves it. The other one is probably the Bulls, who are just, it feels like they're routinely getting pantsed. And it's a bit old mate, no mates as well, because as we sort of said today and yesterday, after they traded Vooch, and then they kept trading for guards, you're like, is Josh Giddey going to play center? And then they don't snag Jock Landale on the cheap, which they probably should have done. It's all a bit weird. And then everyone points out that they turned Coby White, Vooch, Zach LaVine, Lonzo Ball, DeMar DeRozan, and Alex Caruso into a single first rounder, which was theirs to begin with, that they'd sent to San Antonio for DeMar DeRozan in the first place. And they got it back from Sacramento in the LaVine deal. So they got no extra firsts from all of those dudes. And they achieved nothing. Amazing work by the Chicago Bulls. Better than Lonzo Ball. Oh, this one hurts today.
Lonzo was the best player in high school. He was the best player in college. You think he'll get to the pros and be like, I made it to the pros, now I can be average. He's coming for everybody.
Coming for everybody. I do love it. Like a lot of these, the trades sort of like Lonzo Ball's been traded to the Utah Jazz, and it's like he did this incredible thing where he came back, unprecedented comeback after not playing for a million years, and also he's a bit shit. Like that's kind of like buried down the article. For this season, he was averaging 4.6 points, shooting 30% from the floor. Yeah, not great, bro. Not great. 30% from the floor. 27% from three. So quite literally better than Lonzo Ball is everybody, but I mean, sure. He was the best player in high school, the best player in college. 27-4-4, however, for Ryan Rollins today, who I still fucking love. And it's always these weird games against like a team like the New Orleans Pelicans today, who are apparently allergic to defense. And Ryan Rollins goes, fucking radical. I am awesome. He was so good. Absolutely took control of that game at times. And Milwaukee are like trying their hardest to tank. They're 20-29 though after today's win. And Ryan Rollins goes out and shoots fucking 10-19, 4 rebounds, 4 assists, 27 points. Awesome. And very clearly better than Lonzo Ball. All right, let's do some yeah-nahs right after this.
This is Cam Glidden.
This is Anthony Drimmick.
This is Mitch McCarron.
This is Jason Kadee.
This is Darryl McDonald.
Hey guys, this is Hugh Greenwood.
Yo, what's going on? This is Illy.
This is Mark Worthington, or commonly known as Wortho, and you're listening to NBA Straya.
You're listening to NBA Straya.
And you're listening to NBA Straya.
And you're listening to NBA
And you're listening to NBA Straya.
And you're listening to NBA Straya.
And you're listening to NBA Straya.
You're listening to NBA Straya.
All right, let's do some yeah-nahs brought to you by you. That's right, you can help support the show. buymeacoffee.com/NBA Straya. It's our Patreon. If you do support the show, you join the Dead Set Legends Club. You get exclusive content. It's all up there, so go check it out. Just basically buy us a coffee once a month and you get to join the awesome club, and you get to help Jim keep the lights on. So yes, go do that. buymeacoffee.com/NBA Straya. The link is in our show description and our social bio, so off you go. Hey, Jim, should the Mavs try to find Nico Harrison and just fire him again? Yeah, nah. Yes. Because as I said earlier, this was just a stark realization of how much of a fuck up that dude was. Amazing stuff, right? He completely fucked you. And anyone who goes, oh, but we got Cooper Flag, that is by a fucking sheer stroke of luck you got Cooper Flag. It had nothing to do with Nico Harrison's fucking shit vision. And here you are. Now you've got a bunch of shit assets and Anthony Davis is in Washington. They should probably find Nico Harrison and just beat him up. Just one fucking quick punch to the dick. Just one. I reckon that seems fair, right? Are the Wizards doing the right thing here, Jim? Yeah, nah. Can I say yeah? I think I'll say yeah. It doesn't make a giant amount of sense. Because you're now kind of like saddling your nascent young wannabe stars with former wannabe stars, right? Trae Young and Anthony Davis. No one's ideal version of a superstar in today's NBA because one can't fucking hit a shot and the other one can't play. But it does give your team at least some semblance of an identity / flaw. Right, because when you put Trae Young and Anthony Davis together, you've just got like veteran know-how some decent amount of skill, and then you put Alexander Sarr, Keyshawn George, and Trey Johnson, and all these dudes on top of that, and you're like, oh, maybe we do have something here. I don't know. Maybe we're not going to be absolutely dog shit bad. Maybe. The thing is, I don't know, like, and if you've hoarded these two assets, right? And you are apparently keen on paying them, that's fine. And the thing is, as long as you keep this year's draft pick, that's all right then, right? Because you've still got Koulibaly and Bub Carrington and shit as well that's sort of hanging around. We'll see if any of these dudes sort of pop. And you're still 13 and 36 and no real danger there of getting out of the bottom 6 in the NBA. Because I think most teams, it's the Kings on 12s. Yeah, you got 5 teams on 12 or 13 losses. So bottom 5, feeling all right, but I don't know, man. It's still like trusting a lot to a bit of fucking lottery luck. But it's the same as Utah yesterday with Triple J, where it's like we're trying to like raise our winning profile to a degree. And the Wizards move makes a little bit more sense, I reckon, because they are shitter this year than Utah. And we understand that lottery luck is pretty fucked. And especially the way the odds are now, it's really, really difficult to sort of figure out if you're in that next tier down, just what you're going to end up with. So you kind of just go, fuck it. Whatever luck we're going to have, that's what we're going to have. Now we've got like a couple of decent pieces. Let's fucking go for it a bit and just stop being shit. And remember, like, this is what we all wanted. We all wanted teams to stop tanking. So, all right, good. And then you're like, but not this way. It's so weird. I do love it, though. I do love teams just going, fucking all right, we'll do it. We'll trade for Anthony Davis. That's why it was so strange waking up this morning and going, Anthony Davis to Washington? What the fuck? And then you sort of think about it, you're like, all right, I guess. You just have a swing, have a crack. Sure. Other side, what the fuck was the McCain deal, Jim? I still get, yes, it's a large amount of assets, and assets are good. At the same time, the way that I sort of looked at that setup that they had in Philly is, yes, McCain has sort of been able to sort of very, very slowly work his way back into health, and his role has been very limited, we get that, but he's like just sort of fucking getting back to it. Still a fun shooter, still fucking just jitterbug, just wildly quick around the court, and can just basically do a Maxey impersonation in the same way he did for a bunch of games last year, right before he got hurt. And sort of, I guess, if you have this moment later on this season where the Sixers lose Maxey for 2 weeks to like a slight hamstring strain or something, like you could just plug McCain in there and you're probably like, okay, it's kind of not like it's similar-ish. It's not as good, but it's not as shit as we could be with Kyle fucking Lowry doing this, right? So I don't know. You get like a late first, 3 seconds. That's a lot though. So I just don't know. I kind of feel like Daryl Morey's just throwing shit up against the wall. Hey, do Houston need to do something, Jim? Yeah, nah. That's the team after today that I'm like, if they just suddenly go, fuck it, we're going for Giannis because that was bullshit what we did today. That's where it could get interesting. The tricky part is like Amen Thompson, LP Şengün, KD. It does kind of still feel like everything else you can just have a crack at, but do you really want Jabari? You want like either Şengün or Amen Thompson in that deal if you're Milwaukee. The Rockets have got a couple of extra assets. I don't know. I feel like they kind of need to do something though. It might just be as simple as like bringing back Chris Paul after he gets bought out by Toronto. If they've got a bit of a wink deal, that might be all it needs, right? Like a little bit of little bit of settle down juice. But something's just gone a little bit sideways there in Houston, and I don't know what the fuck it is. But like that was just might have been. It also sort of, and I should have mentioned this at the top though. So all of these games at the moment, for the last couple of days and for the next week, it all feels like the last week of school, right? Where you do no fucking work. It's like getting warmer. Everyone's just like, I don't want to be here. You got your head on the desk. You're just like, fuck it. And even the teacher's like, all right, today we're going to watch fucking, what did we watch? Blade Runner. Today we're just going to watch Blade Runner. And you're like, fucking noise, right? Just shit like that. That's kind of what this feels like. Houston might have had a bit of that in them today against Boston. coming off 3 straight wins. They've got a game against like the Hornets tomorrow, which is fascinating. So we'll see what happens there. But I reckon they probably just need a bit of the settle down with Chris Paul. Maybe they swing for Giannis. Don't know. But speaking of which, does Giannis actually get traded now at the trade deadline, Jim? Yeah, nah. I still don't think so. I think Giannis is like, I don't want to stay here till the offseason. I want to go now and try to win. And if I'm Milwaukee, it's like, I don't fucking care, mate. That's kind of the unpopular opinion of the day as well. I'll get to that. But Mick Muesli had a good one. My boy Mick. Big nuts. Bit of a cross-code yeah nah for you. Following about the All-Star teams on yesterday's show and seeing footage of the NFL Pro Bowl. Are these types of additional side quest events becoming irrelevant? How long before either don't exist or the league stop fucking with the format and just put them back to when they were good? The Pro Bowl looked like an absolute piss take, and I used to book out the whole 3 days to watch the NBA All-Star Weekend. Now I don't think I'll bother with it at all. Yeah, nah, yeah. Like, it's so fucking crazy that the All-Star Weekend, as I said, right? Like, as soon as they started fucking around with the Elam, the nerd ending and all that sort of shit, and all the nerds would be like, oh, it's really good. Just fucking play. I think what's happened is, like, the expectations just got too fucking high. It's an exhibition game. Let them have some fun. Oh, back in my day, it really mattered. It doesn't now, though. So let's all fucking deal with it and maybe stop trying to make it matter, right? With the All-Star game. Just go fucking East-West or World fucking USA and piss off. And the Pro Bowl was a really fucking fascinating one because then they just turned into flag football. They should fuck that. Like, the NFL you can sort of see, though, because they're still trying to make flag football like a thing. So it'll probably just continue doing that. But it's horrible. Like, it's a bit of a fuck around. Good on them. But I don't think the NFL needs it at all, right? It doesn't need that weird exhibition thing because it's not an event like All-Star Weekend is for NBA. And NBA, they fucked it with the formats. They should just fucking bare bones it and just go, cool, here's the game. Here's the sick dunk comp. And as I've said, we've got a couple of tweaks. The family 2-on-2 or the family 3-on-3. Just fucking, we saw, what was it? Someone brought up last week, the Royal Rumble. I love that idea. Very, very fun shit. They should be trying that sort of shit, not fucking with the Elam ending and all this other dorky ass shit. Oh, what about 3 teams? Shut up. The side quest stuff will be more and more irrelevant until they just shut it down for a couple of years, and then we'll all be clamoring, bring back All-Star Weekend. The same, like if you think about footy here in Australia, AFL, Aussie rules, when they do State of Origin. Oh, it's too dangerous. No one wants to play in it. Someone will get injured and that'll fuck it. It's like, just play it. Either shut up or just do it preseason, which is what they're now doing. It's like a fucking weird shadow of itself, but it'd be kind of fun, I guess. Who cares? But anyway, they are becoming irrelevant. They are irrelevant. But they've been irrelevant for a bit longer than we probably realize. And I guess once someone like Steph and LeBron sort of retire, it's going to get even worse. But I don't know. This is all fucking swings and roundabouts. Like when you've got a couple of like the other fucking Team USA, if you just go full flat out Team USA, Team World and stop fucking around with this bullshit 3-team format, yeah, that'll probably be competitive and kind of awesome. NHL have proven if you just do it this way, it fucking rocks. And so the NBA tried to copy it, but fucked it by going, oh, we need more Team USA players, so we'll split them into 3 groups. Fuck off, you idiots. Just play. Just play the game. Team USA, Team World. I guarantee it'll kick ass. But good stuff, Muesli. They are wildly irrelevant, and they're fighting to try to make them relevant. And they have to understand there's like inherent silliness in what they're trying to do. Or they can just go, let's go full nationalistic pride. That's where they got to. Does Giannis get traded? Back to that one. Unpopular opinion of the day.
Now look at me, please. Look at me. Look at me. Look at me.
If I'm the Bucks, I kind of don't care if Giannis doesn't want to play here for the rest of the season. Right? Yes, Giannis, look, mate, we're trying to do fucking right by you, buddy. But do you want to see some of the offers we're getting for you? That'll hit your ego and your pride. They're trying to give us fucking Johnny-Kuminga for you, buddy. So fucking just settle down and we'll get to the off season, and then whoever gets like a decent fucking pick and wants you, we'll send you there and we'll make sure it's half decent, all right? Just get him to calm down. He doesn't want to look like the bad guy. So if you go, all right, Giannis, we're going to fucking call your bluff and not move you before the trade deadline. Yes, you might have a fucking chuck of tanty, but I don't care, mate. You're the one who doesn't want to look like a bad guy by not requesting a trade. I want to work together to find a new home. All right, fucking cool. Don't call it a trade request or whatever you do. Fucking sook. Anyway, point being, just call his bluff. Get the best return you possibly can. Because I think this weird thing right now, before the trade deadline finishes, it's picks, this year, maybe from somebody. You don't know where the fuck those picks are going to land. I want a little bit of fucking cost certainty. I'm just saying. So, yeah. Outback Takehouse. We already kind of did this line, didn't we? Yeah, I reckon. Not bad, not bad. It's Thursday at Outback. You know what that means? 2 for 1 blooming onions. That's right. No prick in Australia knows what the fuck these things. It's some sort of deep fried onion made to look like a flower. What the fuck you talking about? We had our onions raw or fucking cooked on a barbie, you dumb fricks. Shut up, Yanks. God damn. You're always ruining everything. And today's good take is, seriously, give me the all-star family off. I want to see 8 teams, white men can't jump rules, 2-on-2, 1 NBA player, 1 sibling/family member that's not currently an NBA player. As I said, Reggie Miller, Cheryl Miller. Let's fucking go. Kevin and Brianna Durant. Ben Simmons and Dave Simmons, 2 non-NBA players right now, right? LeBron and Bryce, not Bronny. Fuck yes. Tee it up. The Mariah brothers, the Morrissey. Maybe the Thompson twins have got like a sister. I don't know. You've got the Spencers. You've got all sorts of tweaks that you can make this, but give me some sick white men can't jump shit. That's what it's all about. And the cool thing is, if you don't have an NBA, you got 1 NBA player and a non-NBA player, it's just great. Because we all want to see what the non-NBA player, this is the Brian Scalabrine test, right? Remember? I'm closer to the LeBron than you are to me as a pro basketball player. So if you've got just sort of like a run-of-the-mill normal person who's not an NBA player with their NBA player sibling, let's fucking have it. I'm all for this. This would fucking blow the roof off. Just saying. There you go. How about a quick shooters shoot? Shane Hill's shooters shoot your shot, light 'em up award, and a great moment in Australian stat history. What is it? Australian stat history? Yeah. Great moments in NBA Straya stat history. After we do the Shane Hill shooters shoot.
Threw it down. Are you healed? Are you healed?
Praise the Lord, I'm healed.
Praise the Lord, for I'm healed. It is the Shane Hill
Shooters shoot.
Shoot Your Shot, Light 'em Up Award.
Well, Trey Murphy hit the 3rd most threes in a game all time today. He did. Trey Murphy has just joined the annals of NBA history as the 3rd most makes from 3 in an NBA game ever. Obviously, Clay's still got the record at 14. Steph's got 13, same with Dame and Zach LaVine. One of these names is not like the other. And the same thing goes for 12. 12 made threes in an NBA game is Steph 4 times. You might remember Donyell Marshall had the record for a little bit. Kobe then did it. Clay had it as well. Keegan Murray. Again, one of these names is not like the other. But now you got Trey Murphy as well. Love that. Awesome shooting. And then, lost his legs late because he had all of overtime to hit a couple and just got none. And the rest of them were shorter than Muggsy Bogues. How about great moments in NBA Straya stat history? Do it, Jim. Do it. Press the button. I will.
Great moments in NBA Straya stat history.
2 years ago, a bloke named Josh Giddey was on the Oklahoma City Thunder. I had a head full of stitches at this point because I had just undergone, I think 2 years ago, the surgery on the roof of my mouth, I want to say, which was a really fucking crazy time. It sucked as well because I couldn't eat anything solid for many weeks and it was shithouse. But on this day, 2 years ago, the Weet-Bix kid, Josh Giddey, had 24 points, 6 rebounds, 6 assists, 2 blocks, a plus 17, and the slob wizard. He had a slob pass to get a layup that forced overtime. And, double overtime, he had a ripper and one that helped him get the win. So just remember, when Josh Giddey's not playing, this is what he is. An absolute fucking weapon. 24, 6, and 6 2 years ago on the dot. Not bloody bad, bro. Make him an all-star, Adam Silver. Seriously, no Giannis, no SGA possibly. There might be a spot on Team World depending on if Jokic or Murray actually play or don't. You've got Siakam who sat out a game yesterday. Denny's got his back problems. There might be spots on fucking Team World. Let's go, Josh Giddy. Giddy up. Anyway, all right. How about some game previews for tomorrow? Game previews. Thanks, Inadvertent Bane. Not a problem, Jim. How's it all going? Yeah, not bad. Fun day today, wasn't it? A lot going on. But we have a bunch of... Actually, let's just quickly do the Patty Mills Game Day Ball or Game Day Twitter check-in. Because I think we got some... there's Ben Simmons. There's an update. Just gone fishing. That's... Yeah, that guy's not playing basketball ever again, is he? I love the Jock Landale stuff, though. He's just like, hell yeah. That's a bit... He was just all a bit, oh, hang on. Fun while it lasted. Thank you, Grizz. And then he had the quick brief one. Keeping it interesting as he's from the Yaz to the Hawks. So on you, Jock. But tomorrow's games, we've actually got... So remember, we've got the trade deadline tomorrow. That finishes at 6 a.m. our time. And then you've got a raft of games tomorrow that kick off at 11. And it's always a strange one because it's like this sort of weird post-trade deadline vibe. And you're talking about all these deals. And then the games start again. And you're like, who the fuck's playing on who and shit. So anyway, so we'll be tracking all that. And then we'll wrap it all up for you tomorrow. But what we're not going to do tomorrow is like cover all of these games. We're going to basically do most of a trade deadline show tomorrow. Early in the sort of afternoon, just so we're sort of on top of everything. So, remember, you can find all of our picks over at Dabble. You can hit the link in our show description or our social bios. Takes you right there. Lots of the picks going. I don't think we did very well today. It was not good. Because I think New York... Actually, did we? Yeah, I think we ended up going with Denver in the end to cover, and they almost did, but then they didn't. Minnesota didn't cover. Houston certainly didn't. The Pelicans did not. San Antonio, I think, was like either... I think they might have. Sacramento didn't. And Clippers didn't. Woof, rough. Anyway, tomorrow, though, we've got plenty of good ones. Washington, Detroit. We're going to go the Pistons there. Minus 14.5. Now, this is the tricky part because you've got the trade deadline and you've got All-Star coming up next week. I might take Washington plus 14.5 in this one, despite... I don't know, they might have a few less bodies, but Detroit might be sitting there going, I don't know what's going on with who hasn't been traded from my team. They might also give Cade and Jalen Duren a day off, so keep an eye on that. I might, for the minute, you have to check the picks tomorrow morning because a lot is going to change post-trade deadline. So for the minute, I'm going to go with plus 14.5 for Washington. Brooklyn go to Orlando tomorrow morning as well. I'm going to take Orlando minus 11.5 because it feels like they're probably not going to make too many more moves. And Brooklyn are shit. So there you go. Utah, Atlanta is a bit more interesting. The Utah don't have anybody playing tomorrow. Their injury report, Keontae George is on it. They've got like no dudes left basically. So I'm going to take Atlanta minus 10.5 despite them moving on from the Zinger. He wasn't playing. He wasn't a big fucking part of what they were doing. So whatever. We'll take Atlanta minus 10.5. Chicago go to Toronto. Toronto on a back-to-back. They're 8.5-point favorites. I think Toronto win this. I'm going to take Chicago plus 8.5. Maybe, or actually, now you think about it, they've got no one big. And Toronto have got some pretty good swings who are pretty sizable. So I might take the Raptors, actually. Even on a back-to-back, I think they might be able to just pump this Chicago team that literally has zero size. Zach Collins, Jalen Smith, Lockie Olbrick, Gid's likely sort of not coming back from that hammy yet would be my guess. Coby White's already gone. This is a lot of AO. So we'll go Toronto. Charlotte go to Houston. Now, Charlotte have still got their main dudes. Houston are reeling from a shit show today. They are at home. They do have size, but I think Charlotte will give them a run for their money. I'm going to go the Hornets plus 3.5 in Houston. Crazy gear. They might not win it, but that should be very close, I reckon. And if not, Hornets could win it. San Antonio go to Dallas. Fascinating game. I might take the Mavs plus 5.5 at home. I think with their wings, Coop, doop, up against Wemby and co. We don't know if Wemby will play on the back-to-back. We'll find out, but I think he will. San Antonio should probably win this. I think Dallas might have enough shit to sort of keep them close. You know, the fucking chaos of the trade deadline. We'll see what happens. Look, I'd usually go, well, San Antonio they're not gonna move anybody. They've got like a bit of fucking ideal situation of they know who their dudes are. Dallas is a bunch of moving parts coming and going. But Dallas at home, I don't know. It just feels like there might be a bit of a, how you going here? So the plus 5.5, That'll probably get bigger by tomorrow. So I'm probably going to take Dallas now and probably take them again tomorrow. Golden State Phoenix. I'm going to take the Suns minus 6.5 just because the Suns, again, if they don't make any big giant splashes, I think they're too good for this Golden State team right now. Just their defense, and with no Steph likely, yeah. Philly Lakers, that's a ripper, isn't it, though? I'm going to take the Sixers plus 3.5 against the Lakers. You know that Maxey and Embiid are going to show up and show out. And I'll take the Sixers plus 3.5. They were awesome against the Clippers the other day. So, yeah, let's see how that goes. But there you go. Go follow all the picks over at Dabble. As I said, tomorrow's a big one, so I'm going to wait until, like, fucking last second tomorrow to put these all in because it will probably change dramatically. So, but there you go. That's it, because we will be doing a show tomorrow morning. Tomorrow, early afternoon, I reckon. But we'll wrap up the trade deadline. We'll have a bunch of, if you're following us on socials, it'll be everywhere that we're just going off our heads. It's going to be fun. It's going to be chaotic. Love a good trade deadline. It's already been insane so far. We're probably going to have like one other big thing that we didn't fucking see coming that happens. Jar might still get moved. Giannis, who fucking knows. But yeah, we'll be wrapping it all up on tomorrow's show. So it should be very, very fun. We'll do as much as we can about that, tomorrow's games as well. But yeah, it's going to be much more trade deadline winners and losers sort of focused as well. And we'll do some power rankings after the trade deadline. So that'll be fun. So make sure you're following NBA Straya on Twitter, Facey, IG, TikTok, YouTube, all the good stuff there to keep up to date with everything we do. NFL Australia with myself and Gaz. Our Super Bowl preview is up. We're going to tomorrow as well. Smash some tins, go see Mid-Youth Crisis at the corner. That'll be fun. And then our big Super Bowl party at the Catfish in Fitzroy in Melbourne on Monday for the Soupy. Can't bloody wait. It's going to be awesome. Go Pats. Wearing the hat again today. So that's our NFL show. So come along, smash some tins with us at the Catfish if you're in Melbourne. The best party in Melbourne for the Super Bowl. We've also got Jim Does Supercoach for NBA Supercoach gear. We're also going to do some AFL Supercoach if that's your vibe. So go subscribe, check that out. Rate, review, star, subscribe across all your podcast apps, of course. Big thanks go to From Oslo for the intro and outro song They Rule. So to House Hats, Josh Ritter, The Renters, Fascinated Gold Mines, Ramshack Alami, Iowa, Sex Shadow, Green, and Dozers there behind all the tunes you hear throughout the show. You can also support the show, buymeacoffee.com/NBA Straya. And you can follow all of our picks over at Dabble. Hit those links in the show description or our bio. But that's it. Nothing at the end of this one as well because we've already gone pretty long. And we will catch you tomorrow for a big trade deadline show. It's going to be awesome. It's going to be chaos. We'll catch you then, you dickheads. This is NBA Straya saying look after yourselves, will you? And later, hosen.